This video is brought to you by Battlezoo Eldamon. This expansion to Pathfinder 2nd Edition and D&D 5e is a Pokemon-style rule set that will allow all players to collect, befriend, train, and evolve 160 different Eldamon. Battlezoo Eldamon is coming to Kickstarter on July 26th. Hey everybody, Dave here with another Pathfinder rule reminder for you, and today's topic is about monsters and their skills and perception scores, and how do you know what the proficiency level is for a monster's skills or their perception scores. So for example, if we take a look at a monster stat block like the Barghest, we can see that it has a perception bonus of plus 12. But it doesn't tell us what their proficiency level in perception is, and likewise we see it has a number of skills like acrobatics, deception, diplomacy, intimidation, stealth, and survival, and it gives us the bonuses for all those, but again doesn't tell us what their proficiency levels are. Are they merely trained, or are they expert, are they master, are they legendary, and so forth. Now most of the time this probably isn't going to matter in the game itself, but there are times when the players might do something that calls for the proficiency level of their opponents. So for example, where this might come up the most often is when a player lays a snare trap. Now snares are designed so that anybody who comes into the area of a snare will have to pass a seek check in order to detect that snare. And they are set up so that the minimum proficiency level that's needed in order to have any chance of detecting a snare is usually one proficiency level lower than the person who set it. So for example, if a player has a master proficiency in crafting and they craft a snare, then any orcs who pass through the area are going to have to pass a perception check, a seek perception check, in order to find it, and on top of that, they would have to be at least expert proficiency, one proficiency step lower than the proficiency level of the person who created that snare in order to have any chance to find it. But the problem, again, is whenever we look at a monster stat block, it doesn't tell us proficiency levels. It will show us the perception bonus. So again, our Barghest has a plus 12 perception bonus, but it doesn't tell us if they're expert or master or what have you. So we don't know if they would get a chance to make this seek check against the snare to avoid stepping on it. But of course, there is an answer to this, and that answer can be found on page 7 of the first bestiary. In this area, it says, in some situations, such as when a creature is trying to disable a PC snare, you need to know the creature's proficiency rank. Creatures are trained in the skills listed in their stat blocks. Because monsters are not created using the same rules as PCs, they are untrained in skills that are not listed. A creature usually has expert proficiency in its listed skills around 5th level, master around 9th level, and legendary proficiency around 17th level. A creature might need a certain proficiency rank in perception to detect certain things. Many creatures have expert proficiency in perception and improve to master proficiency around 7th level and legendary proficiency around 13th level. So it doesn't give us exact numbers and hard information here, but it does give us some guidance. And it does give us some information about perception as well. For example, it says many animals start as expert in proficiency, and then they increase again around 7th level and again around 13th level. So you can use this as a guideline to help you frame what would be appropriate for the enemies you put on the board against your players. From my point of view, as long as the encounters that you create are using enemies that are of roughly the same level as the players, I tend not to worry about this. I would just go straight to the bonuses. If a monster's coming in the area of a snare and they're of similar level, I wouldn't bother figuring out what their proficiency level is for perception. I would just go to rolling the dice and applying whatever bonus is provided in the stat block. But if there is a situation where a significantly lower level enemy is in the area, Well, I probably just wouldn't give them a chance to roll for it, but you could use this information that's found on page 7 of the first best area as a guideline to make those determinations. So that's it for today. Do monsters have proficiency ranks for perception and skills? Yes, they do, but they're not hard-coded. They're going to have to be created by the GM using guidance provided in the first bestiary. If you have any questions about this, please leave those in the comments. If you have any suggestions for future rule reminders, please let me know in the comments as well. I'll make sure that I leave links in the description to any other videos that I have that might touch on this particular topic. And as always, I want to say thank you to everybody out there who supports me, whether that's by clicking the like button, subscribing to this channel, subscribing to the Patreon, sharing the videos with your friends. Thank you very much for everything you do. And with that, thanks for watching, take care, and happy gaming.